Sadhguru, namaskaram. Thank you very much for taking out time. I want to start by asking you, these are just elections. Why is there so much talk about how this is a generational change? People of India have spoken very, very decisively. The kind of numbers we are seeing in West Bengal, past 200, Assam, past 100, clear majority. In Tamil Nadu, not a clear majority, but again, for a first timer to go past the 100 mark. What do you make of the voice of the people heard in this election?
This is something that everybody should take note of, not only within the country, outside the country also, because there have been disparaging comments about what India is. This is the level of maturity people hold. As uneducated they may seem for others from outside, as not so modern they may seem, but we are a very evolved democracy, a very mature democracy. We don't make too much noise, we go to the ballot and do what we have to do. 92%. People don't get that kind of marks in mathematics. All right. It's a fantastic display of the commitment that we have for democracy and the maturity that Indian democracy has. And everything is over 80% in most of the states. It's spectacular. It's a spectacular dance of democracy which you don't see anywhere in the world. For example, in United States, only 43, 44% go to vote. 92+ percentage shows that how people value democracy and when they have to bring about a change, how they do it. So having said that, I wouldn't like to conclude that this is in this favor or that favor. The important thing is people have made a clear statement, the value they attach to the ballot, to the democratic process, and how they hold it in their hearts and minds. I think this is a spectacular statement about that.
Let's start by talking about West Bengal, because that, I think, quite safely is one of the biggest surprises. Three-time chief minister just swept out of power, and how to be reduced to only double digits when she was past 200 last time around. What do you make of
I don't see why anybody should be surprised, because this is one thing we should understand about Indian public, that they are not very reactive. They won't stand up on the street and fight on a daily basis. A little bit Bengalis have the spirit, but generally most people do not do that. But at the same time, they're not the people who will be terrorized. They will not be ruled by tyranny for good. They will respond in their own way, and that's what you see. I'm not surprised. Definitely I'm surprised with the numbers, that thanks to all the people who have worked for it. Particularly, I think people are truly inspired by seeing the level of inspiration and commitment that our Prime Minister brings to the table, that in everything, that level of commitment and inspiration that he's constantly trying to infuse into the nation, I think that's worked magic in one way. Another thing is our Home Minister, his grit and gumption, the way he conducted the whole thing, I think is truly admirable, and for every political party should learn to do this, that you don't you wield your power just like that blatantly, but really learn to leverage the democratic process to achieve your goals, whichever party you are. This is most important, and I think they've demonstrated this. And you can't help mentioning Mr. Subhendu Adhikari. I've never met him, nor do I know him personally. But I've watched a few of these things, the way he's going about on the streets is very, it reminds us of Mamata Banerjee 10 years ago or 12 years ago. Well, she did the same thing, but I think the problem was, I believe everybody comes with good intentions and then slip into other things. So I think her problem was lack of or her inability to have an administrative capacity, but to depend on loyalties of certain people. Slowly, the people that you are loyal to you, they will draw you down in so many ways, And I think she went down that way faster than you could imagine and took the state where it was, where the only… in the end, thing will be only to use the stick on everybody that opposes you, which happened. And once you give in to certain leniencies in your own personal agendas, everybody else will take that leniency and take it to another level of corruption and exploitation. This has happened. But above all, I feel one strong thing which made this difference, the kind of numbers that happened in Bengal has a lot to do with what happened in Bangladesh in the last 12 months. I think the Bengalis woke up to the reality. If we go down this lane, this is what's going to happen here also, and we don't want that to happen. And that's not new. If you have little more… if you're not so affected by your amnesia, if you look back in 1948, this has happened in Kolkata and all over large parts of Bengal, and they have faced the famine in the World War II times, so their suffering is not entirely forgotten. I've spoken to various Bengali families and their grandmothers, all their childhood, they've been talking about what happened in the famine, what happened in 1948. But somehow it did not really get into their minds, but I think this… what happened in Bangladesh really woke them up in a certain way. Can't take away the credit from the party machinery that worked on the ground. Definitely they've done their job, but I think that was a significant factor.
In
And
what way, Sadhguru? How
hmm?
does Bangladesh affect the psyche of somebody staying in West Bengal? People will argue that this is an effort to try and compare apples and oranges.
Well, we must understand it's the same land where we have drawn an artificial line. The same people speak the same language, same culture. It is just that they took on a different religious identity and they went down a different lane, largely because of Mujibur Rahman and later on his daughter. They maintained a certain balance of that, didn't go to extremes. But in recent times, I think in the last 12 months, they had a free run and they know what happens. This… from my understanding, by knowing the people across the border, lots of Bangladeshis, they were left with a bad taste in their mouth. It's not something that they wish to do, but certain groups of people do it, but they don't have the courage to go and stop it. Nor did the government machinery had the necessary gumption, or maybe willingly they allowed it, whichever way it was. But everybody understood if you go down this lane, this is what will happen. So on either side of the border, large number of people, majority of the people don't want such things to happen. And that became very clear. If you go down this lane, this is what will happen. So I think it has had a significant impact on people's psyche.
Hmm. Are you
They are
talking
not
about are you talking
oranges.
about the radicalization of Bangladesh in recent
The
times?
same apple, it's the same apple that we cut, one fell that way and one fell this way. It's not apples and oranges, it's the same apple.
But how can the kind of radicalization or the radicalism that we saw in Bangladesh, especially after the removal of Sheikh Hasina, how does that threaten India? India, at its very core, including West Bengal, is a secular state.
You can call any state whatever you want, but people experience only what happens on the street. One thing is, if you go back to the history of Bengal, even during the times of Mahabharat, where they called it the Vangadesha, even at that time, people talk about how these Vanga people were so accomplished in their art, music, literature, such evolved and civilized people. People are talking about this, even then. And even during British era, everybody recognized that Bengal was a very culturally rich… it was a nation, Vanga was a nation by itself. So somewhere along the way, I think this left rule where chief minister spent half the time in London and ruled, you know, with a certain this thing, and they thought the only way to control things was with violence. Once you bring violence into the picture, the intelligent in the population will all recede or will migrate. I think this has happened to Bengal in a serious way. The most intelligent people, talented people have moved out in a big number, not everybody, but a large number has moved out. Once you lose that population, you have lost something very vital in any civilization. So if you want to see Bengal or Vanga or Bangla as a civilization, they have lost massively in the last 45 years' time.
Mm.
So I think in that sense, this loss has been felt by people and everything is coming down to the street level action. And openly politicians, people in power are talking about, we will fight on the street. See, this language should go from the nation. Your fight is in the ballot,
Mm.
never on the street. Street fighters should be eliminated from the nation. If we don't do this, we don't have a nation. This is very important.
Mm.
And once the administration itself doesn't respect law and order, then people lose that sense of comfort and being there in that state. So, a huge number of people, both the elite and the lowest classes from certain districts have left. You just look at the labor working in Tamil Nadu, in Karnataka, most of the construction labor are Bengalis. They're not there simply out of their choice, they did not migrate. They've migrated because there is no livelihood and there is no protection and safety, particularly for women. So this is a serious thing that must be addressed. I hope the new administration that comes up will take up these challenges. It's not going to be easy because the rot has set in at a certain level.
Mm.
It takes lots of nurturing, not just fixing, not just violently putting down something. You need to nurture people out of the situations that they've gotten into, because many people get into various situations not necessarily by choice, but because that'll be the only choice available, so everybody gets into that one way or the other. When especially such situations last for long enough, which it has happened in Bengal.
Mm. You know, you spoke of Shubhendu Adhikari. It reminded me, Sadhguru, that he said all through this election and even at its conclusion that this was a fight to save Sanatan. Do you think this is a legitimate argument or is it politicization of Sanatan? That doesn't belong to any one party or any one person.
Sanatan definitely does not belong to any party, but someone can take it up as an agenda, because we cannot forget the country was partitioned on the basis of religion. Though most of us did not believe that, or most of us do not identify with that kind of division, but that's how the country was divided. We lost one-third of the geography in one shot on both sides, east and west. And well, thanks to Mrs. Gandhi, that at least she made only one Pakistan. Otherwise, we would have East Pakistan and West Pakistan. In today's world, that would have been a biggest disaster. At least that one thing was done. So you cannot just wipe out. See, you're in the news cycle, if it's out of the news cycle, it's over for you, you're in the next story. But people who got killed, their homes burnt and whatever terrible things happened to them, that memory carries across generations.
Mm.
So in that context, what he's saying is has relevance.
But when you refer to the partition, how is that relevant to West Bengal?
Arre, Bangladesh is sitting right next to you, it was all one Bengal and they put a line there. On what basis? On a religious basis, isn't it?
So you think we were in that danger again when we're talking about saving Sanatan through an election?
See, whether that danger happens or not, when the demographics start changing beyond the natural change that happens in a society. Natural change happens because some people may have more children, somebody else has less children. That is a natural process, will take hundreds of years. But when demographics start changing because artificially being created,
Mm.
then insecurities will rise naturally.
I want to now ask about a state that you yourself spend a lot of time in, Tamil Nadu. Nobody saw this coming. Where did Vijay come from?
Hey,
What do you make of this phenomenon?
I don't know, you guys are sitting in Delhi and not seeing it. Everybody saw it in Tamil Nadu. Because you must understand, Tamil people are very patient people. Patience comes not out of being docile. Patience comes out of intelligence. When you're very intelligent, you will be naturally patient. So they are very patient people. They wait, they give opportunities, they wait and wait. I think they wait more than they should, but they do wait. So the thing is, this ping pong game that's been going on between two Dravidian parties, fundamentally same but playing a different game, and essentially talking about as if we are a separate nation by ourselves. Uh, for some time it excites you that we have a separate identity, but then you see how it doesn't really work for you over a period of time.
Mm.
And above all, everybody was looking for some fresh breath because the same thing is going on, whether this party comes or that party comes, the same stuff,
Mm.
nothing different fundamentally. The corruption is almost like a relay game, okay? That what these people are doing, the same system is exploited by the next government and the next government.
Mm.
So we have seen this ping pong game going on for too long. I think people were tired, they were looking for some savior. And always in Tamil Nadu, saviors come from the screen. You have seen MGR, who became a massive leader, and of course Jayalalitha, who became a very able administrator also in many ways. But all of them, again the same problem, run on loyalty, not on structural administrative capability.
Mm.
Because they don't come from those backgrounds, they suddenly pop up. So the only thing they can trust is a few people around them, and those people, whatever they do, they do. So once again, we have put up a film star, but this is a new era where there's different level of information, different level of understanding, and generally people see him as a smart person
Mm.
and hope he doesn't make the same past mistakes. But I feel the federal government or the central government has a huge responsibility, because I don't see the central government of India as BJP government or as news channels mention that it's Modi government. I don't see it that way. I see this is the government of Bharat. This is the government of 1.4 billion people. This doesn't belong to any party. I think the central government should exhibit this quality and nurture this new leader
Mm.
into becoming a capable administrator.
Mm.
Because this is very important for the state, and this is very important for the country. Tamil Nadu is not just one more state, it's a significant contributor in terms of economy, in terms of technology, in terms of intellect to the nation. In many ways, Tamil Nadu is very, very important.
What
So,
What kind of administrator do you think Vijay would be, even after nurturing? Because one always thinks about what is his vision, what is his ideology, what is his background. Here is a first timer. Sure, he's been a superstar, but what does he actually believe in? Do we even know?
see, that is the best thing. I like people who don't believe anything. That if they believe strongly in something, they will be against somebody who believes something else.
Mm.
So, in a way, that's an advantage. There's no ideology, there is no belief system. He is just a film star who is popular with the people, and he thought he should take this responsibility. You must understand, he's dumped his film career when he's still at his peak. He's not over the hill. He's
Mm.
still at his peak, and he dumped that career and got in. I kind of trust that instinct that, someone is willing to drop what is precious to them, what they built up all their life, and willing to jump into this, not knowing what the results are. Now the results are in his favor, that's a different matter.
Mm.
But when you went into the election, everybody tried to write him off, he won't make more than 12% vote, this, that, all this. So through all that he went through, and his people have voted for him.
Mm.
People voting for him is mainly for fresh breath, I believe. And above all, like simple people in the rural villages, and also the youth and everybody believes in Tamil Nadu, their ideals, their values, their ethics, everything is ruled by the cinema.
Mm.
In the cinema, he's a good man, means they believe he's a good man. So, I don't believe anybody is a good man or a bad man. It's just that they have to rise to the occasion.
Mm.
But he's showing those signs that he wants to rise to the occasion. Is he a competent administrator? Right now, I don't think so. But I'm saying we have a whole bureaucratic system which we say is, what is that, ironclad system. I think that's the word they use. So this system he must depend on, learn his process. There is time for him, he's still young. There is time for him without disrupting too many things he must do. One thing I would advise him is, he must identify 7 to 8 categories of people. Industry, business, in that if you want to categorize technology, construction, this one, that one, and then farmers, and like this, different groups which contribute to the Tamil prosperity and Tamil well-being, he must meet, listen to them, don't talk to them, listen to them, what they want, and see what are the things which are achievable in the next 5 years. If he goes like this, all of us are with him, 100%. Because right now, he has no encumbrances. Normally, when a political leader comes up, he has too many encumbrances. He has to satisfy so many obligations for which he will become corrupt. He has no obligations with anybody. On sheer personal power, he's come. I think it's a great opportunity. I hope he doesn't fail us. I think he will try to do his best. Hope the right advisors come and every one of us are available if it is for the well-being of the people. And I feel above all, the government of India should handhold Tamil Nadu government to ensure that their leadership gets the right balance. And we should not think in terms of party because he's won a popular vote. He's won the popular vote. We don't have electoral colleges in our country. This is a popular vote. It must be respected by everybody, including the central government, and see how to handhold him to see that he doesn't make serious mistakes in administration and economic decisions that he makes, which I don't think he will make because there is a good system in Tamil Nadu. Even without… there is a there is a statistic which shows generally, when the chief ministers don't meddle with too many things, that administration goes very well. I think he will be that kind of chief minister till he finds his balance and finds his own way of envisioning something. See, we are not a new country. We have been there for over 8 years now, nearly 8 years. So there is nothing to envision in a big way for an individual state. It's the vision of the nation which is the vision of the state. It's only in application in how we make it happen. That also is reasonably established. All he has to do is eliminate corruption, put the right people in right places, which I think he's competent to do. He shows an intelligent way of approaching things.
Because Sadhguru, there are a lot of things that people have been quite scathed with. The Dravidian ideology. Do you think, first of all, that that ideology now could be on its last legs, that this is a message of the people against
There
that
is
ideology?
no such thing. This is only in the television cameras that people are talking. Maybe 2% of the people believe in that. Rest of the people are not thinking on those lines. Yes, Tamil language, Tamil culture, Tamil literature is important for people, but this doesn't mean we are thinking Dravidian. In every state, their language, their literature, their culture is important. But in Tamil Nadu, in the last 40–45 years, I think in the… since Annadurai's time, they started talking about it as if it's a separate culture. It is not so. In the ancient past, Dravidian existed right up till Gujarat. So even during the British era, why they call this Madras presidency is because this entire thing, they saw it as the same culture. Languages we spoke differently, but we were the same culture always. So trying to separate Tamil Nadu as a independent drop from another world is a wrong thing. I don't think that exists in Tamil people's minds. It's only in a small percentage of people who've been trying to rev it up and using it for political purposes. I think that will end, he will talk a different language, which is a good thing.
But could Vijay completely take a, make a clean break from that? Because he hasn't been vocal at all on issues like Tiruparankuntram, for example. He said nothing about it. He didn't agree with it, but he didn't criticize it either. So the traditional tropes associated with the Dravidian ideology about North versus South, anti-Hindi, I won't say anti-Hindu, but Well, we saw what happened in Tiruparankuntram. Is Vijay the opposite of that?
Not really, but I think he was trying to protect his dedicated constituency, which is not a good thing, but politically I appreciate that some things maybe you have to do like that to stay relevant. But now that he sees his vote has come not just from a certain religious group or whatever, it's come from wide across from Tamil people, I think he will change his approach to that.
Would you advise, or do you think he will at some point free temples from state control?
See, that the center has to do, not the state. We need a legislation. Recently, I think central government has said in the Supreme Court, we don't want to manage any temples. Why are they just saying it? They must pass a legislation. Let the temples be freed. What is the methodology to do it? It's a complex process. It may take 5, 10, 15 years, but the process should start from the parliament. Why are we putting the onus on Tamil Nadu?
I want to circle back now to the east of India. We spoke of West Bengal, but there is also a very interesting parallel in what we
Cannot
saw.
be ignored. Assam is a big thing. Himanta Dada has done a tremendous job. See, probably he's the only one BJP leader who's gotten a massive amount of support from the Muslim community. He's managed to build those bridges, and this is what is needed everywhere, because it's very, very important for the future of Bharat that Muslims don't hold a separate identity of their own, they see themselves as Indians. This is most important. I think he's doing this better than anyone. Of course, the Prime Minister has continuously tried to say that, but there's another group trying to bracket him as something else all the time, though he keeps talking about Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. Everybody is trying to… at least a certain groups of people are trying to put him in a bracket. But I think this Assam is a demonstration of how these bridges can be built, and the identity should be of the nationality and the nationhood, not of religion. Religion is your personal practice, you can practice whatever religion you want. So, I think Himanta Biswas ji has done a fabulous job, and I've been with him and I know how strongly he believes in what he's doing. And I've seen him engaging with people. He came to one of our events. The way people respond to him, like he's their dear friend, not like a political leader, which is fantastic. I think that connect is needed.
Sadhguru, you talk about connect, but actually I was reading some of the commentary, and vis-a-vis Assam, it said that this is one of the most vicious, poisonous, communally charged election that has ever taken place. And that is the only reason that Himanta Biswa Sarma has won, and that Bengal also saw echoes of it in the way Suvendu Adhikari spoke. That's why I spoke of the parallels.
See, the thing is, he's talking about the illegal immigrants, which unfortunately happens to be almost 99% Muslim. So people are saying he's talking against Muslims. No, he's talking about illegal migrants. When we say illegal, anything illegal in the country, whether illegal liquor, illegal population, illegal anything, should not exist in any nation if you're interested in the well-being of the nation. So when he talks about illegal immigrants, people are saying he's talking against the Muslims, which is not a good thing to do. This is because people have thrived on division. It is time we build bridges, it's time we integrate Indian society as one nationalistic force, rather than dividing on the basis of what you believe or I believe or what you worship and what somebody else worships. So, I think it's a very significant time in that sense that Assam has voted the way it has voted. This shows the confidence that people have in him. Commentaries anybody can write, most of the people are paid commentaries, they write. For their livelihood, they write whatever that.
Finally, I'll ask you, Sadhguru, the two states, but especially Bengal, a lot of the people who reacted very emotionally.
Are you not
Bengali
going to
people…
Kerala at all, Padmaja?
Oh, of course, Kerala. There was a joke that people had that there are only three places where the left is in power. One is in the media, the second is JNU, and the third is Kerala. Now apparently we are down to two.
Well, that will also erode, which is, I think, already happening. But Kerala is important. See, because left, in its essence, what it is, unfortunately has been lost long time ago. And thanks to our Home Minister that this whole red corridor has been almost practically been wiped out for practical purposes or been surrendered or whichever way, is been neutralized, which is most important for the development of the nation and nationhood as a sovereign entity. That being said, in Kerala, people moving is from this to Congress is a good thing. And also for me, above all, having a credible national party as an opposition is equally important.
Mm.
Regional hegemony is not a good thing. Over a period of time, it will threaten the sovereignty of the nation. So the only party in the country which you can call a national party, because Congress party still holds 20% of the country's electorate in their this thing. So it's very, very important that Congress rises as a credible opposition, a responsible and constructive opposition. Unfortunately, it slipped into a place where it's looking like it's not that, but it's very important it's built back. Because in the democratic process, it's important to have a credible opposition throughout the country.
Mm.
Regional hegemony should go… I'll go further to get myself into scandalous situation. That is, I would say at some point, India within the constitution should pass a law. Just about anybody and everybody can't float a party. Okay, right now, anybody, if I have 5 people or if I don't even have 5 people, I can start a party. Just
Mm.
because I'll get one symbol and some silly thing I will do. This must go… this is mockery of democracy.
No, but
I'm
then they'll
saying
argue Vijay wouldn't have happened. If this rule was there 2 years ago, Vijay was that person with five
he would
people
have
and a
come
fan club.
through another system, he would have come through another system, he would have come through a party. See, that is… Vijay is not a everyday happening, okay?
Mm.
Happened. He won't happen everywhere in all the states. That's a rare thing. Once in a way these things happen, it's fine. But I'm saying for long-term well-being of the nation, all sorts of parties coming up and talking in divisive ways, many of them have no clue what is India, what is India's constitution, what stand we have taken, what it means to be secular. None of those things are there in these people because I've met many of these political leaders. Just it's like a local enterprise.
Mm.
It's like a local enterprise, just about anybody starts one party, and if he has one MLA, he has negotiating capabilities and money transactions, all this. It's very important long-term, Congress party builds itself as a credible opposition. I know a lot of people are not going to like it, me saying this, but this is very important for the nation,
Mm.
that there must be a credible, constructive opposition party. And the only party which has the fundamentals to do this is Congress party. I hope they listen to this and build themselves up into that thing. I'm glad they have replaced the left government in this thing, but they have slipped into appeasement a little too much. They must extricate themselves out of that and show their nationalistic quality. It is very important. There are good leaders there, like Shashi is there, and that Satishan is a very good leader. All these people should come into the picture and build that party into a place where it looks like a credible party. I know they've lost many states, that's not the point.
Mm.
But in terms of nation, they must have, even if they don't win the government, they must have significant enough number in the parliament
Mm.
where they're in opposition. Today, we are at a certain level of development, so we think, okay, let BJP rule somehow, let the country develop. But over a period of time, as development happens, it's very important there is a significant opposition. Right now, it's a ragtag number of people. They're
Mm.
trying to put all of them together and get them to one thing. You can't, because some are family parties, some are just commercial parties, all kinds of things.
Mm.
It's very important somebody who has the necessary foundations like a Congress party builds itself into a credible opposition. I hope that happens. Right now, if you see somehow there is a string, there's Kerala, Karnataka and Telangana. in their hand, and of course Himachal Pradesh. So I'm not only thinking in terms of state governments, but in the nation, we need a credible opposition party.
You think Rahul Gandhi is capable of doing that? You spoke of Shashi Tharoor, VD Satishan.
I don't want to get into political this thing about it because as far as officially it is concerned, he is one of the MPs of that party and he's a LOP. Well, let's respect that position. Who is capable, who is not capable? Why should a party depend on only one person? With Vijay, it is true because it's a one-person party. It is a party only because of him. But that's not the case with Congress party. Congress party has a history of over 100 years plus, even before independence, they have a history. So, we should not gauge such a party with just the capabilities or whatever of just one person. Why should it depend on one person? I'm saying easily they can come up with 25 leaders who are capable of building that party. I'm sure there is that kind of depth to that party. Unfortunately, they might not have made use of it in the last few years, but it's time to do that before it gets too late. If they fall below 20% of electorate in their kitty, then it becomes difficult to come back. Then what happens is, in every state, regional hegemony will come. You have seen what happened in Bengal. Those kind of things should not happen. Nothing that threatens the sovereignty of the nation should ever happen. For this, a credible opposition which has nationalistic roots are important.
All right. It's always the people and the people's wisdom, the wisdom of the voter, that is supreme. And every now and then, through elections, they tell us that they aren't and they can't be taken for a ride. Sadhguru?
Is that a good thing?
That's a wonderful thing. Thank you very much, Sadhguru, for speaking to us. Thank you.
Thank you.